Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon. It's March 23rd today, Monday, March 23rd. My name is Beth, and I'm going to give you a reading for your creative power and leadership today. So, what's the overall energy that you need to pay attention to on this day of Monday, March 23rd? Nine of Fire. So, really strong, powerful, creative energy right now. The nines are like the penultimate expression of the cards of the minor arcana. And so there's just one more, the 10, and 10 is just like the big transition, the big time of transformation. But 9 is like the peak energy. And with the 9 of creativity, you're just at a creative peak today. It's really big energy, and you may feel like when you look at her closely, she looks very kind of severe. It's not like there's flow there. I mean, look at the flow of her skirt, but then look how she's on this dry landscape, and it's like it's like too much fire can cause burnout and sort of rigidity, and so there's there's kind of a guarded aspect to, like, look at the gates. There's this guarded aspect to the 9 of Fire, and people often see the 9 of Fire as battle weary or overly protective, like there's a protective quality. But when we're looking at creativity, it might just mean burnout, like just a tired day, or you've been going at it for a long time and you kind of feel like you've hit a wall or something like that. So there may be a little bit of that energy today. And so let's just look like what's needed for that. It's not, don't take it as like maybe you'll come up against frustrations when you're trying to create, like you might be tired or your head might be full or something like that. So you may feel like, I can't do it. I'm not good at it. This isn't for me. Like you may feel, you may get some of that. Let's just look, what is some more advice or some more understanding around this 9 of Fire. Again, the 8 of Emotions, the 8 of Water has come up. So again, this dry landscape and this solitary person. So you're really going through something, like you're really going through a time of change. You're letting go of some big passage in your life, and you, maybe it's like, it's kind of, it's gotten you feeling sort of protected and severe. Like those are two really, just, the energy is intense. And it's like there's nowhere to hide in a desert, right? It's just intense energy, and you're in it, and you can feel really vulnerable. I mean, the times that I've been in a desert, I've noticed how vulnerable I feel and how dangerous it feels, and yet how vulnerable it feels too. Like there's just a lot of vulnerability. And if you've been through this eclipse time, or if you're going through this big change, like eclipse something out of your life so you can move forward. and they also sort of bring an opportunity to step into the next place, like the next level, the next place you're going. So there's this transformation, there's this change, but it could feel, you could feel dried up, like maybe you've, often with the 8 of water, we're walking away from something that's really difficult, and so we've got a lot of emotions to release, and maybe that's left you kind of rigid and stiff and protected. So that's not easy energy to create from. That's what I'm feeling from these 2 cards. Let's get one more card that might give us just a way through, a way to deal with this, a way to kind of understand this. What the heck? All right. That's what came out. Look at that. I knew didn't I say I was going to get this card a lot because I'm doing creativity readings. So the Page of Wands. So she is saying again that you are, your work is to connect with the muse right now, to connect to your creative excitement. Like the muse gets bored, like the muse gets really bored. If you keep doing the same thing over and over. So if you've been repeating patterns and those patterns are being let go right now, and you may feel like you're in this kind of severe place, then again, the Page of Wands is coming in, because she comes after the 9. Like there's the 9, then there'll be the 10 in the middle, and then the Page. And so the Page is like a fresh start, a new beginning. What can you do for your muse that will get her excited again? And it's not going to be what it was 2 days ago or 3 days ago, whenever she came up before. It's going to be something new. And what I'm seeing from her right now, which I hadn't really looked at in the past, is that to me today, she's looking like she's listening to the earth. Like she's bending down, she's got her ear closed, and she's listening. And even though the desert is still there. Like, it's so interesting. There's a desert in each of these cards. We have these 2 deserts, which are like, Sahara, sand dune kind of deserts. But then we've got this desert that's really out of color. It's bright red, but there's little tufts of grass. Like, so those little tufts of grass to me are saying, again, like, what's one thing you can do to bring a little bit of like water, a little bit of flow, a little bit of creativity. I mean, we think about, like, or I think about creativity as fire, because it's often represented in that kind of fiery passion and excitement and enthusiasm. But creativity can also be the just a, like the water, the flow, that flowing water. It can be anything. It can be like all, literally it's all elements coming together that create creativity. But that you really, and even though this is a fire card, I am seeing those little tufts of grass in the desert, that, and then in the background there's some, I don't know if they call them hoodoos, or that kind of Sedona or Utah kind of landscape, where it's like there's life in this desert, and it's moving into these gorgeous rock formations. And so there's going to be more and more little animals, and there's going to be more like plants and stuff going on in this kind of desert more than that kind of desert, right? So the little acts that you can do today to court your muse, and right now, today, she's saying, listen to the earth. Get your head down, and just, maybe that's just going for a walk in nature today. It doesn't necessarily have to be about making art, especially if you're feeling burnt out and tight and nothing's working anyway. And if you're feeling like, grief or confusion, not confusion, but just sort of grief and overwhelm from actually walking away from something. So you do want to, play. Like the page of inspiration is about playing again and experimentation and learning something, being a child in nature, and just working with some materials, and even take 10 minutes and do something really like crazy and colorful in your sketchbook or something like that, or write a poem, or whatever you're doing. Like get some play in today, and ideally get some nature play. We're in the middle of a snowstorm, so I'm thinking like go for a walk. That's great, but that's not going to excite my muse. But maybe making a snowman would. Like doing something different today, that being a child again, that kind of thing, that is going to court the muse and bring her close. So I hope that helps. Don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe if you enjoyed this post, and thanks for watching.